Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video we are going to see and learn about Spring Boot profiles. So in normal Spring Boot project or in Spring project, what we do is we define our configuration in either application.properties or bootstrap.properties or any other properties file we specifically define for either Hibernate like CFG file or any property files. But if we are going to run this project, or if we are going to run any project, be it Spring Boot, Spring, in a specific environment, suppose I'm going to run my Spring Boot project in my local environment, that is dev environment, then I need to change in the application dot properties the database source schema username or password or any configuration that resides in my local. Okay, so I need to change those configs, and then I need to run in my local environment and then test the same. Similarly, if I wanted to after testing at my local that everything is fine and at dev environment it is running perfectly fine, then I need to proceed towards QA testing and I need to provide my module to QA. Then he also needs to test, then I need to deploy at QA environment, or provide the release through CI/CD pipeline to QA. So at that point of time I also need to change some configs in application.properties, because he wants to run at his own local environment, that is QA environment or test environment. Then specific configuration have to change. Then I also need to make some changes and rebuild my project, or just build my project through CI/CD pipeline. So in this process what would happen is, like, I always need to change my properties file. Suppose if the project has been running in the production environment or pre-prod environment, then I need to change for them also. And in between, some if I miss something, then there might be an issue or some exception would be raised. So to better segregate this, or to better manage this, there is a concept of Spring Boot profile in Spring Boot framework. So with profiling, what we can do is we can segregate all these profile in specific properties file, like application hyphen dev properties, application hyphen test dot properties, application hyphen pre-prod dot properties, application hyphen prod dot properties. So what we will do is, in application dot properties we will write a common code that will be common for all of our properties. Suppose my actuator configs will be common for all the environments, be it dev, QA, or production or pre-prod environment, but my database configuration and my server configuration would be different for my each environment. Be it dev, suppose I'm running at my local environment, and as you may know this, like in Spring Boot application, the embedded server Tomcat has a default port is 8080, but if I wanted to run in QA environment, so he has assigned the server port for Tomcat to be 9000 or 9001. So what I need to change every time in my application properties file, and then I need to build my project, commit my project to any source code repo, be it Git or SVN, and then I need to build my project, release to through CI/CD pipeline, and then provide my release to CA. So the process is quite long, and I need to change in the properties file again and again due to the environment change. So we can manage this through Spring Boot profiling. So first I'm going to show you how this project run, and I'm just going to show you one log. So I have already built a small project, Spring Boot project, where I have just included REST controller and one DB bean. Okay, so you can also build the same, or I will be also providing you my GitHub URL, so you can copy the source code and understand the same. After building my Spring Boot project, I'm just going to run this. So in the logs, let me just go upwards. We can see there is a log that has been printed here, no active profile set, falling back to one default profile. So I haven't applied any Spring Boot profile. So by default, the profile that Spring sets is default profile. Okay, so let us create the properties file for each environment. So I'm going to create application hyphen dev dot properties, application hyphen test dot properties. This test dot properties I will be creating for my QA environment. You can name it as application hyphen QA dot properties or anything. But if you have, multiple dev environments or multiple QA environments, pre-prod environment, you can also rename that using like application hyphen dev hyphen one dot properties. That would be dev one, dev two, dev three, depending upon what amount of environment you guys have. As of now, I don't have any environment at my local machine, so I'm just going to create three properties for dev, QA, and for production environment. And with that, I'm just going to show you a quick demo how we can, utilize Spring Boot profile and manage all these properties and segregate in a well efficient way. And I'm just going to create a third properties, not in template, in resources folder, application hyphen prod dot properties. So I have created all my properties file, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add one config here, that is spring boot profile config, and the config is spring.profiles.active. So you can see I have activated the profile dev. So using this config, what you can do is you can activate any profile you wanted to have. Suppose you wanted to, have your dev environment ready and you wanted to test at your dev environment, local environment, so you just need to write here dev. So it will, what this will do is it will automatically pick from the spring boot resources folder application hyphen dev dot properties. Okay, so my active profile would be dev profile. So in this way we can activate a profile. Okay, so this initializer parameter, this key spring dot profiles dot active, has been introduced in Spring. So using this we can, set up a active current active profile. Okay, and this standalone, property or the standard property will Spring Boot will pick automatically. So I have set my property to dev profile. Okay, so let me just add some properties in my dev. I'm just going to copy all these properties and I'm just going to change the server dot port to 9090. These properties I don't require, these also, because I'm not going to change this. Okay, I'm not going to change any database properties because I'm working at my local environment, but if you guys can relate this to QA environment or any prod environment or pre-prod where you want have to change username, password, or the schema URL. Okay, so you can relate to that environment. Now I'm just going to click again, restart my project. Now you can see that exposing 13 endpoints beneath base path actuator. So my application dot properties, I have defined the actuator config and it will be picking the actuator config from application dot properties. But below this log you can see Tomcat has been started on port 9090, means it has picked my Spring Boot profile, what profile I have activated, dev profile I have activated, and it has picked my property from this application dev dot properties. Okay, now just we need to go up and see like has it actually picked up from the dev profile or not. So yes, we can see here the following one profile is active, that has been dev. So dev profile has been activated using this config. So in live project or in our project, what we do is in application dot properties we write this config spring dot profiles dot active, and using this config our profile will be activated, be it dev, prod, or test profile. And in the dev profile or test profile we specify the environment properties like database properties, server properties, or any properties related to your specific environment. So using this way, we can make use of Spring Boot profile and segregate our environment properties and property configs, and through this it can be beneficial while deploying or while test in your QA environment or dev environment. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you. And if you guys have any suggestion for any tutorial or any Spring Boot tutorial, do comment and I'll make sure to make a video on that. Thank you.